Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Game Plan Live. This is Wendy with Cannon Planning. I show up here every Monday and we talk planning strategies for direct sellers, network marketers, social sellers, whatever your jive is. That's what we talk about. And we are diving in today to some monthly, weekly, and daily style of planning. We are coming up on the end of January already, and it's time to start thinking about putting together your monthly plan. I am very much a big picture thinker when I utilize my monthly plan. I use it for not only figuring out what I have going on over the course of the month, from events to trainings to those kinds of things, but also I use it for my content planning. I wasn't planning on showing you guys a content plan monthly today, but I'm gonna share it with you anyway. So I'm just gonna give you some brief overviews. It's not gonna be like real nitty gritty and into the weeds, but it is what it is. So what I wanted to talk about today specifically is three different aspects of planning. One, your big picture planning. That is your monthly planning. That is looking at the holistic view of what you have going on over the course of the month, whether that's events, maybe trainings that you're doing, content planning, if that applies to you, your own personal appointments and when you are taking time for yourself, which is super important as a business owner. Also, weekly planning, what does that look like? I've been deep in the weeds of reading and Getting Things Done by David Allen, and the way that he structures his planning is really started to sit well with me. And so I've been utilizing it a little bit each week. So we're going to talk about that. And then I want to talk about Declutter Your Mind, the insert specifically, but also how you can do that without necessarily using that insert, because I don't necessarily use the Declutter Your Mind insert very often, but I do it on a weekly basis when I'm doing my weekly planning session. So I brought my planner with me to share with you guys today. So I want to dive in just a hot minute and talk about it. So I do utilize two different structures of monthly planning. The first one is obviously a month on one. And the reason why I utilize this is because of the structure and the layout and how I can utilize it for tracking not only my personal business, but also the activities that I have going on. What you will find with my personal tracking and business, things like that, is that I do a color coding system on my monthly. There's 4 categories that I track. One is Tula XII as a corporate. One is Harmony Heroes as my team. The other one is my personal business, which right now my membership group takes the majority of that time, but there are other aspects of my personal business. And then my personal as well. And a lot of people are like, Wendy, why do you put that on there? Well, because my personal is important too, just as much as my business. I don't want to overschedule myself and not be able to take the opportunity to participate in the personal things that are important to me too. So I actually just set up my February calendar about an hour ago. I don't have the dates filled in, but I want to talk about this page specifically here on this side. So one of the things that I do with my monthly tracking is not only seeing the full overview, but I also like to check in with this on a daily basis. I check in my qualified level ones, any new recruits that I have, events that I have going on over the course of the month, when my leaders qualify, the rank qualifications for my specific qualifications as a leader, also my current rank status, and then what my personal volume is doing. What I love about being able to do this is I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Being able to track all the things, but also being able to see my whole business in a snapshot each day when I kind of check in and see how everybody's doing. Now, the other thing that I mentioned that I use a monthly for is for content planning. And this is very messy, friends, so just bear with me. This is my monthly content plan. I utilize the art of planning and journaling for my content plan. And I know I've shared this, in fact, just a couple of weeks ago, but I utilize this structure in here to do all of my monthly planning. So you can utilize your months in 2 different ways. One, tracking appointments, all of the appointments, trainings, all of those things that you have going on, but then also this app atmosphere as well with your content planning. What do you have going on? And you can also coincide that with events that you have going on, giveaways that you might be doing, promotions that might be coming out from your company. You can utilize your content planning that way. But it's nice to have a nice overview in order to be able to do that. All right. One of the next things I want to share with you is weekly planning. So I utilize the art of planning and journaling to do my weekly planning. I make up my own layouts each week. Sometimes I like to do ones that Tula XII has available, and sometimes I like to have some nice fun structure. So what I like to include here is, again, I said I follow Getting Things Done by David Allen. The thing that he mentioned specifically is that on a weekly basis or on a calendar specifically, you should not ever put your to-do tasks. Your calendar should specifically be a place where you utilize what's coming up, what appointments do I have, what deadlines do I need to be working on. That is what your calendar structure should look like. And I've done that over the course of the last couple of weeks. You can see that the only things that I have on my dated sections are actual appointments, events, and those kinds of things, right? So this is this week's. So only the things that I have for appointments, all right? So what else he says about that, and the reason why I can look at my calendar, right? I could look at my monthly calendar and I can be like, oh, these are the appointments that I have, but then I'm spending time doing this, right? So I pull everything from my monthly calendar into my weekly so that I can see what's happening for the week, so that I can plan accordingly with my to-do list. So one of the ways that you can do that is you can use this insert called Declutter Your Mind, which is basically a way for you to just do kind of an organized brain dump and write down all the things that you have to do. With the Declutter Your Mind, you can color code based on its importance. So is it something that has to be done right away, something that doesn't have to be done right away, something that you would like to do in the future if you have time, okay? Another way that you can do it is after you create your list, you can pull your top 3 out of there. What top 3 things can you do or that you need to get done? Another option is your easy 3. How many of you like quick wins? This is a great way to utilize them, is to make a list of the ones that you can get done in really fast time. Now, here's a funny thing. The Getting Things Done by David Allen, one of the things he talks about is the 2-minute rule. If you can get it done in 2 minutes, why schedule it for later? Just get it done and get it off your plate. Again, celebrating those big wins. Other people have talked about the 2-minute rule. Atomic Habits has talked about it. The Miracle Morning has talked about it with those particular books. So lots of time management gurus out there utilize the 2-minute rule. It's taking an opportunity to see what's on your list that you can get off there in a quick amount of time. So I like this insert for my own personal stuff. I don't very rarely use it for my business, but when I have projects that I'm working on for my personal, I like to kind of bust out this particular insert. The majority of the time I utilize a task list, brain dump, whatever you might want to call it, in my actual weekly planner. So utilizing this structure of doing dates only on the calendar and then writing your to-do list and things that you want to get accomplished on a separate piece of paper or a separate section of your calendar is super helpful, because then once you see all of these things that you have going on throughout the day, you can figure out where you can plug those things in. Is it a 2-minute thing and you can get it done and mark it off? Or is it something that's going to take a little bit more for you to get dive into and get accomplished? So it helps when you have this structure to kind of be able to see, oh, this is what I'm working on, this is what I have going on, and be able to say, yes, I can get this done on Wednesday because I only have one appointment on that day, or I can get this done on Tuesday because I only have these 2 appointments, or where can I fit these particular things in over the course of the week. So this is why it's kind of important to use all 3, whoops, not the page you guys want to look at, all 3 structures of a calendar: your monthly, weekly, and a daily. The daily is more of a to-do list type thing rather than an actual daily. Now, Tula XII does have dailies. I never find that I need that structure. I know that some people do. And so if that is you, then definitely go ahead and grab one of the amazing dailies that we have. There's the perfect daily. There is a couple of other different daily options that you can utilize as well. But this gives you the opportunity to be able to kind of look at this and be like, hey, I need all three of these structures to kind of work through the system of better time management skills. So I hope that you have taken this little bit of information. Up above, I went ahead and created a blog post that talks about mastering your planning systems and deciding what works best for you, whether that's a monthly, a weekly, a daily, a brain dump section, whatever the case may be. It gives you an opportunity to really dive into those and decide which one works for you. So friends, if you are in the habit of building goals, developing habits, or managing your tasks using a paper planner, and you are a direct seller, a network marketer, or you are just somebody who's wanting to take control of your 24 hours, go ahead and follow me, Cannon Plannin. You can follow me right here on the Facebook business page, or I'm streaming also over on YouTube. Also, you can search for me on Cannon Plannin on any of the socials. Have a fantastic Monday, friends, and I'll see you all soon.